Kies sovereignty sust, Abooksigun, theater site of nowhere. Bail James Bollen insectedness. Chapter and Teyzeu and Teyzeu. Years passed, and Kus took after his grandfather, Samuel. He was a prominent leader, an avid member of the tribal council, and spent plenty of time taking care of his grandfather's forces. Now 20 years old, he was saddened because Mammalian and Vil passed in the same day to Sego, and his beloved grandfather, Samuel, had passed several months earlier. During his depression, he spent most of his time caring for his loving grandmother, Martha, who have referred to as by now. One day, as he was on his way to visit his grandmother, he heard a voice say, "You will bitter son." Looking round, he sees no one. Shaking his head, he continues on his way to our house. Begal was on her knees, pulling weeds and trimming up some plants in her garden. He ran to her side. "Begal, why are you doing all this work? I told you I'll come first thing this morning." Begal smells plants will use all the energy to heal a dead leaf when all you have to do is cut off the dead leaves to help that plant stay healthy. Plus, child, you was doing this before you were born, and you'll be doing this before you die. Begal's words saddened Kiss. "Beg now, don't say tight." Begal, seeing his reaction, "Child, help me up. This past few months have been hard on you, but death comes with life. Your grandfather and me were happy, and he saw Waanyenyekቩ. They were always in good spirits, seeing the glow of love in him, and that's also but once for us to be here in yard, happy. Me and Kekቩ were on our second marriage." Kiss was surprised. "Second?" Smiling, Bemel sighed, "Yes, child, your grandfather was 20 years older than our first marriage was with. People our age, and we met her differently according to height we go through. But women, well, most women mature faster than men anyways. So, if you can't grow old with someone, find someone who you can grow old with. Someone who makes you smile, and makes you happy. Your grandfather is to say it's better to be with an angry, frustrated, sad, upbeat and irritable Sabbath and with the wit, as a believer, than to be with a paid man. Peter is filled with stories of people being unqualified. Now, come on here, let me fix some tea, and we can sit and together." As Kus walked his grandmother to the house, he was still in fact to learn that his grandparents had been married before. Begal lived alone, now that all her grandchildren were grown and gone, a common saying round these parts. "Supportan titikatlim polodot solomon and honey. Chimamotea." Kiss sighed. "That for reducing menstrual pain, Big Mel." Latin, she sighed, "Well, you're not even halfway there, yet know a little, but you finna learn about all these herbs now, son. Tis. Herbs will always have more than only benefit. Chamel is good for menstrual pain but is also suitable for treating diabetes, lowering blood sugar, slowing and preventing osteoporosis, reducing inflammation, and this is for cancer treatment. It's good for preventing and treating cold symptoms, and the reason in making some for you. It helps with sleep and relaxation. Those bags under your ears are now to go supping with." Kiss smiled as he grabbed a cup and poured some honey in it as Bemel continued. She grabbed a messenger filled with dried basil and sat it down in the counter. "There's a with variety of basil. Here, smell this." Kiss took a big whiff as Bemel continued. "That sweet basil. It has a powerful smell and a recognizable flavor. Now taste it." Kiss takes a small bit as Bemel grabs a few more messengers and passes them by Kiss. "This here is lemon basil. It has a mini taste. Well, mint basil has a refreshing mini taste. Yellow basil contains antioxidants. Many plants are more potent to eat than fresh. However, with fresh basil, you gain the most benefits from them. They help you fight free radicals in the body, with less docile damage and increase your risk of cancer, heart disease, arthritis, and diabetes. Always plant these herbs in a garden. They last all year long, and they fight your fate for you. Lavender, cilantro, oregano, chives, rosemary, sage, lemon balm, chamomile, thyme, and mint. You can thank me later. That's why your grandpandy loved so long, plus, your grandpa walked to Molas every day." Begal poured him a cup of tea, and they walked outside and sat on the porch. "This tastes pretty good, Big Mel." She just smelled. Zones covered them as they enjoyed their tea. By outside, yak now we can talk to plants, trees, and the likes. If read the right, they treat them right. Your grandmother, Kakoya, was as in Dutch organizes. They could see and feel things before they happened. Sister unfetted me about plants a long time ago and tied me that even plants have a spirit. We, humans, are done things that have souls. Everything else has a spirit, and when he got it latent, it had signal it beforehand, and that's why she helped him get stronger. She was a beautiful lady inside and out, didn't mean sharing your grandson with her. Kirsch looked that big now, he did not hate. Mammon told me how. He passed, now, that was the day he told me how when you heard the trees and beer stuck in house about create everything with a spirit, even if it did have a soul. Shaking her head, and did you know your grandfather was first to be laden with 3 gifts? He could see a person's heart, a double portion of wainyeyeከቩ, his father's gift, and his gift of understanding and speaking all languages. It was called. Kiss sighed, a legislator polyglot, beg now. But, no, he didn't know it. Whenever got taught it part Mammalian was telling me the story, and we stopped it down in the Abooksigun, getting knocked out over in New Orleans, well. Where does it all be called New Orleans, and we never talked about the war? They want to. Many battlers stopped the army heading from El Paso, Texas, and another group was heading toward them from Phoenix, Arizona. That about how far we got after he helped validate the nerve to approach Mammalian, she was head over heels in love ever since. He was happy for her. We did get tighter after that because of the conflict with the Iniquities, back then. Plus, between her relationship with Valley, that conflict, and the upkeep of the farm, it kept her busy. Taking a sip of tea, Big Mo sighed, yes, Lord, say love her son Valley. Well, son Abooksigun and Don were just fortunate and when they got captured by some slave catchers and kidnapped on one of the ships that float above the water. Being only 14 and 10, his 2 brothers spoke with authority, and Abooksigun was also on hill of a singer. They killed the entire crew, and the slaves took the ship and started on of the greatest revolutions of all time. Husband stuck by him for 13 years until Don was killed, and Abooksigun took it badly because Don did, saving his life. They went from being slaves to being the most wanted man in history. He helped those slaves get in latent into their way to New York, and Sabat gave him many gifts. Cause what happened to Abooksigun? You didn't hear people talk about him much. Big outside, that man just disappeared after Don's death, his wife, who was with twins, and Don's wife moved to left Providence after the New York prison. They were sent her for tears You have no fed big, all along if you feather curries. Kirsch replied, yes. Taking another sip of tea, she sighed, that knife belongs to Don, he got it from an old man in tether ship, his name was Aldon. You know it. He'll tell you about the war and Cosmin tomorrow, just come. Much earlier. You shall know by now, Egypt up at Amstam, not no Asram, me days winning down around that time. Now, help me finish feeding the animals and get them some water before they have overloaded themselves. They feed all the animals and fill up the water into the different watering troughs. Big Mo took some of the water and washed the sweat from her face. Do you drink plenty of water, son? Nobody drinks water anymore. The earth is about 75% water, and our body is 55 to 60% water. People didn't drink water, they drank sodas, beer, and liquor but no water. What kind of sense is that? You need water to grow plants, and we need water to cleanse our bodies of toxins. Kirsch understood no one came to say Big Mo anymore, so she rambled a lot when. He was there. He leaned against the trough. Yes, ma'am, you undid it admitted years ago, and I still drink plenty of it. Big Mo walked out slowly for Kirsch, but he didn't mean that they finished their tasks. 45 minutes later, Big Mo and Kirsch returned to the house. Son, you need some is complimented now. Care for some. Kirsch whipping the sweat from his brow. Yes, ma'am. The power thing bought a tall glass and sat under the canned. Kirsch said aloud, you don't think I'll be a slave, Big Mo, uttering that hit from sunup to sundown. Big Mo just smiled. Well, if you weren't from an infant until an adult, you won't know the difference. Understand the physiological, psychological, and spiritual to make it to our people. Yes, it helps to learn how we were before, during, and after slavery. However, no one cared, and often, even we didn't. We didn't care about our service, family, or even our ancestry. We didn't care about anything. But time heals all wounds. There is someone out there, somewhere, being a slave for someone right now. Our people's first enslavement was in Egypt, then Babylon, then the Trans-American, or Atlantic slave trade. The Trans-American was different from the rest of our enslavement because they hid our identity, and we toughed out how we were. We act like fools when we know how we were. However, our disobedience in pride put us in our predicament. We had to be humbled and humiliated to appreciate our existence in the first place. It was a whole new story after that. Then Thebanians enslaved us. Why yes? So then called fake Amazon. You must understand that. Take Amazon is passive from father to son. Tidne marker, pinhulet, is the background of at least 73% of all people in Africa today. The who of the skin build matter, it's this markers in fidnet at dot hulet and hulet metu asramst and salasam or spread from Africa, but the pinhulet is the fatter. Kirsch had a look in his face, and by now legend. One of these markers is the reason Thebanians had use. All has been our downfall since the beginning of time. Before Thebanians, man discredited this an intelligent race of people for centuries. Since our people have been in this land, these Cyprian Jewish people were like they were when we were enslaved in Egypt, they heard in their hearts elected of prayer. But it was the Moors, and they were wicked kings and queens who civilized the worldwide tribes from the Caucasus Mountains. They came to decade for over 700 years and eventually ruled over Spain, Portugal, North Africa, and Southern France, primarily Spain and Portugal. To enslave? No. To teach and educate. But our beloved so-called first president of the United States, George Washington, was probably the first one, might not, I don't know. But he had a debate on how to enslave the Moors, saying, and he quote, if we will agree to take the physics and turbans of the Moorish heads and remove the sandals from their feet and enforce severe punishments, and to also swear a deed out between us of story easily and faithfully not to allow any to teach the Moorish children what they really were or what their forefathers were, and only allow the Moorish children to be taught that they were true Negroes, black people, and colored folks. 200 years from today the Moorish people would not know their nationality nor the national name of their forefathers. Also, they will not know from which land or ancestors they are descended from. By Gil lives, I'm sorry child, I'm reminded of all Thomas Fuller, 14-year-old slave. They started calling the bite, Virginia calculator, child, he could solve complex math problems in his head. Now, he could not read or write, so they started calling him a savant. Dim-witted folks didn't believe he wasn't a lad, so they tested him. They asked him how many seconds there were in a year and a half. He said 47,304,000 within 2 minutes. They said, then they asked him, how many seconds a man has lived 70 years, 17 days, and 12 years old. He said 2,210,500,800 seconds within a minute and a half. They told him he was wrong, and all Thomas said as Big Mao impersonated the slave's voice, Top, massa, you 42 leap year. When he had the leap years, he was correct. Arneman said that it was a pity he had not an education equal to his genius, and he said and by now started talking like a slave again. No, massa, it is best he had no learning, for many learned men be great fools. It proved to the abolitionists of that time as proof that enslaved Italians were equal to Unctus or computers and Italians. Bagao paused for a second, saying, thus cropped as Seneca started slavery again in the islas of California. When Thebanians first arrived and stationed themselves with natives in the Kano forest of Africa. Will it take good their name Sebeni mans? We asked for her, and behold, we got her. However, civil unrest with Thebanians and the Great Congo in prison occurred. Thebanians treated destroy who possessed their now had an similar markers in their na Thebanians at the political or this variant mudded the but because of political reasons, they could not. Therefore, Thebanians banned the neon with Sufna. They could not love him and the rest of the plant, making their loves a living health rank enslavement and other horrendous acts. If the rest of the world wanted their technology, Tejzeu will have the full suite, what evenings will return home, and the will have explored the punter deporter. Of course, you know these people who carried test now were Louዓላዊነት, and we are their descendants. Centuries later, competence and anecdotes trafficked and enslaved us for sex, services, labor, and even his death. Pates by the thousands. Tejzeu many taught the islas of the Californias, where they were beaten and raised into submission before turning the sprout into about a beating for the competence and their jobs, sanitation for the bubble cities and with the competent lived. CS6 coming and going from these lands worldwide, especially in New York, practicing immense PSF land where its statue of liberty and stored anti-tyrannic. Man, they hate this with a passion. Both it was Princess in Acadia, Waanyenyekቩ, and Abooksigun. Will set that sit down. Kiss side, beg now. Beg a look that kiss, boy, please, yep known, and your grandpa cursed. Kiss side, it knew identity date, but not you. Beg just smelled, well, if you don't know, now you know, yep know. How in the hell I'm going to be married to someone for all these years and we're not bit same? Boy, it how do you learn that love, by love is a loving. Kiss lagged so hard that he started crying. Smelling, as he looked through her yard, by no point dog plants to custom made ham it were with, yet now, people use it. Tom out here loun and pass right by these herbs. God made all this to hillis, for some, they rather is dust chemicals, artificial chemicals that have years coming back for more. They were not healing you, they were keeping the symptoms at bay. By go grabbed a small wooden box and rolled up a cigarette as the side, this is that sticky, that key. Kiss looked that big now, never heard of tight. By go took a drag, on set gets a hold of fear, she started to come in for a few seconds, stumbling her words, she sighed, it's it key. Kiss sighed, big now, tight and make sense, she sighed, hey, ik now, I'm already. Hey serious saw me good with. I'm high, but ik now what the hell, I'm talking about. Let me calm down a bit and tell you something. By now, in deep tide, stared into space for a few minutes. His cut started picking some plants, and then Big Mouth took deep breath. There was some particular ship called the Horseshoe. As the story goes, this ship had an evil, greedy captain and his 3 sons. Who had been called in slaves for years. The business had become somewhat slow during this time, and he was cruising along the New Orleans islands fishing when some of their slaves had an opportunity to escape, and they did just that. This was when Abooksigun and Don had fallen into the river and drifted down somewhere along that area. Abooksigun and Don are both unconscious, floating throughout the Gulf of Mexico until they ran around in an nimbus land near New Orleans. The slaves had escaped approached him. Hold up, son. You need to backtrack so you can understand a few things. Do you know about the Latin War? Before Cuscaldans War, say continued, it was the war between man and artificial intelligence. Telephonical spray toxic behaviors and radioactive weaponry. Killing a fourth of humanity. In desperation, men detonated a massive imp, havoc the entire plan. It destroyed the electrical network and caused a massive earthquake that destroyed land masses worldwide. This was years before Abooksigun came to Earth. California and a large portion of western Nevada and Arizona fell into this era. Everything past that point was basically called the Islas of California. Few people lived in these lands, except for a few uncles scattered here and there. Over time, fewer, because of the radiation. On Tejzeu, Arizona, right before you reached Islas of California, there was a piece of land engulfed by the devastating, beautiful coastal domain the Cuff Mountains. Remote desert land with patches of green fertile lands here enter Coffee. It has abundant wildlife and is a wonderland to see beautiful desert creatures in their natural habitat, jackrabbits, rattlesnakes, beyond hip, mountain lions, quails, bats, desert tortoises, and so much more. This region is where we will continue, the Islas of the Californias. The increase gradually started moving back into the area, capturing, training, and selling Louዓላዊነት, a lucrative business worldwide. One particular family had a monopoly in this trade since its beginning. This family owned much of Long Island, New York, and a few surrounding areas and produced Louዓlaዊነት slave farms for generations. Producing slaves pretty much like Boston did during the Trans-American slave trade. Using these poor folks for slave labor and whatever else they wanted them for. Tienkas manipulate countries like Ireland to give up their land and freedom for a better life in the Americas and worldwide. The elections placed the competence, and the place competence meant up list opinions. The opinions didn't yet like humans, however, humans were their males, in essence. They loved off the prizes and worship of competence, but they feasted off their souls as if they did. Therefore, no West. By the opinions being spiritually connected, we Yafidon, Yafid them all. However, humans said and made West, on person productive to 50 letters of physics and 500 letters of foreign, but there was nowhere to put their West. When the bubble cities were erected, the Slavs' job was to do something with that West. The Incas profited from the Slavs by forcing them to claim the competent West. However, many Slavs became ill, and some did because of Ebola, Salmonella, Cellular, and many other things. New York City was the most extensive metro in the Western Hemisphere, which covered what once was New Jersey, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Northern Maryland, and northeastern Pennsylvania. They had a West Staten outside the bubble city as large as McCross, consisting of older towns surrounding New York. Burlington, Vermont, Long Island, New York, Richmond, Virginia, Columbus, Cleveland, Ohio, and the hinterland of the White Mountain National Forest. New York was a super bubble that reached Melissa and almost touched the region of the hemisphere. So, the demand for Slavs was significant. They used human waste for heavy fuel, brickmaking, work to oil and make their home. The methane gas produced by human waste was tapped and used to produce biogas. Biogas was used to generate electricity for both domestic and industrial use. They also used it as a fertilizer to increase the production of food. Medically, human waste was used for a fecal transplant, a procedure used when a person has harmful bacteria in the gastrointestinal tract. It was more effective than antibiotics and less costly than getting rid of the infected organs. Was the antithesis of a healthy person would use to bring through the pathogens and remorse of frozen fecal matter through his nose. Kiss had a disturbed look in his face, and by now alleged, "Child, don't get into medical field if that bothers you. Or, and since we are made from dirt, we shall return to the dirt." Did you know that human waste also contains rare metals such as gold, silver, copper, palladium, and vanadium? They can extract about 700 pounds of gold from the feces of animal and pup using something they call leeches. Don't ask me why they think. Leeches is cause they still don't understand it is in contaminated liquid or something, just look it up, maybe you'll understand it. Ignore that these metals play an essential part in our bodies, maintaining joints and transmitting electrical signals. Back in the day, millions were lacked to claim where is human waste. By go take a deep breath, anyway, it was called the omniprofessor or something like that. You can look at it all, but they simultaneously produced energy in clean drinking water. Also, it was used as a cosmic radiation seal to product humans. Human waste and water were made of source called excreta, which were used as a shield against radiation. Competent refusers it waste from the so-called deceased violence, so they create waste stations in their communities. Explained all of this total uses what these door people for, keepers. For many years, until Abooksigun came along, the slave trade of violence went from abundant to none. It ended slowly because the Abenians and many combatants moved of war to different planets because of Waninikevu and his men, both Abooksigun and the Diddle either. As you recall, they defeated the two troops of Abenians pursuing the last caravan with Jal and the while they were heading to the Lausanne, and Waninikevu's son, Abooksigun, was lost along the way and flowed toward New Orleans along with them. Two additional military forces, one from El Paso and another from Phoenix, were headed out to destroy the people. However, albeit his battalions met the military troops from El Paso while Waninyekeቩ and his oldest daughters, Jill and Ine, carried them from the rear. Devastated and defeated, the Abenians met their fate. Friedrich and the rest of the 12 stayed behind while waiting in the Abenians from panic to advance. Their advancement abruptly halted. Strangely, they stopped when albeit Waninyekeቩ defeated El Paso's troops. At a standstill, they just waited in the middle of the desert. The group from Phoenix were larger than any of the forces they had battled before. Waninyekeቩ and his daughters raised home but still no movement from the panic forces as they grew next at larger valleys. Still, they just stopped there along highways in Arizona. Wainyeyeከቩ since Daniel, Quinn, and the rest of their family, along with its battle on Athenas and Danian were control animals, took off a national will of refute of land the city of Phoenix. They waited for him to advance, but still nothing. After days of waiting in the crazy of the standstill, Wainyeyeከቩ, John, Lob, and Friedrich investigated and surveyed the area where they had been installed hello basis of how the region were in Heggelort before they also got restless. To let give Queen and her children time to reflect on Abooksigun's absence, they all traveled a female stalk left overlooking one of the islands of the Californias, realizing that Abooksigun was gone. Sitting on a cliff, Jill and Inez sat there reminiscing about Abooksigun as they said a prayer, Sabbath, give your little brother the strength to on in your name. Yene powers a drop of her son in Totelsin in Hanorfheim. The content from the son had to say, and it loud, spanning as far as the Ekalsi. Moments later, the plan shook from its core. At that exact moment, the forks of Phoenix started howling in pain, unaware of what had happened. At this time, Melissa appeared before Wainyeyeከቩ, the enemy has asked Sabbath's permission to destroy you, but he denied him. However, he was permitted to do what he called without causing your death. However, Sabbath has seen your faithfulness and love in giving you favor by pledging it in your own Abooksigun and has sealed him from the great deceiver's prison until he receives your gifts. As Melissa spoke, see your true blood again. Wainyeyeከቩ turned total wise, yes all do however Sabbath recourse of him. But Melissa had disappeared. Wainyeyeከቩ calls out over the communicators to figure out what happened. At that moment, Theban's demonic forces were released from their barriers. They did not target our Tucson but our Queen and Wainyeyeከቩ's family. Billions of minions and demonic forces crawled over each other, both large and small, Aventanas and highway cement, and rushed toward the islas of California. The minions' forces from the northern part of the world also headed in that direction. At that second, Ivorian's communication device started flashing. The what had triggered an emergency signal as the minions were directed toward Queen's location. Wainyeyeከቩ in his battle and hit stride toward Quinn said while John, Friedrich, and Abba quickly followed behind the herd, destroying them. Just the precinct of Friedrich alone incinerated the herd, but they kept heading toward Quinn. The Abenians tried to spread out, trying to avoid Friedrich, but Abba and John started picking them off. It was just many. Wainyeyeከቩ had made it to their location as his men slowly arrived. The speedster was already there. A swarm of bats appeared before Quinn and Daniel of a national will of refuge, quickly transforming into odin lavas. He appeared before them and swore an article Wainyeyeከቩ and their family because of what they had done. Whereas, Anaya attempted to throw water from the sea at him, but he vanished. Anaya did not know what she had done. It took Wainyeyeከቩ a few seconds to realize what odin lavas and the videos were trying to do in central Mexico. Wainyeyeከቩ was about to do it with its tongue around his neck, the sun, after he saw the fear odin lavas as fake as Anaya attempted to throw the water on him. Wainyeyeከቩ and Quinn looked at each other and smelled. They ordered the speedster to gather all who could control the elements to the islands. The herd of minions approached the islands from the east and north, not even 10 minutes away. Wainyeyeከቩ ordered everyone to saturate all rivers, lakes, or any body of water with one drop of the sand. As the minions approached, those who controlled the elements created thunderstorms using the water from the sea. At the same time, the speedster grabbed the people who controlled the elements and took them to the Jill River and they directed the storms behind the minions as they closed in on Quinn and him. They made Abba and Friedrich's job so much easier as the demonic forces quickly turned into a puff of black smoke. Before the minion could realize what was happening, it was too late, and they ran from the storm and were eventually driven off the cliffs into the sea, where they quickly became a puff of dark smoke. The scene became thick as if an oil spill had devastated the black substance and turned into a bubbling tar before dissipating into the air. Killing a third of Adam Lava's kingdom, Wainyeyeከቩ ordered the stone to all rivers, lakes, and seas throughout the entire region. From Indianola, Mississippi, to the isle of California. As they made their way toward all Thebanian cities in the southern region like El Paso and Phoenix. Child, Thebanians, and most of the Caribbean zone Venice of world and superbubbles like New York. The Caribbeans thought it was the worst pandemic of 1918 and 2019 coming for Thebanians. Caribbeans, unable say Thebanians for what they were, South MD and what many described as a multimate sort of flesh as Mullen did, wait for them to escape of world. The heavy tower team is ኦርሊየንስ became a rage. The Cupidons needed food and water to survive, and the Benin's needed the presence of the Cupidons, which were thermally required substances to survive. Cupidons had to wear helmet suits or sit suits when they came in close contact with the Benins and vice versa. Eventually, the Benins, Cupidons, and Angus fight any war against the Messages and Wapitulins worldwide. For the first time, the South was now clear of the Benins presentiest Wapitulins, who moved from reason and lived along laws in the same way as Psalms from like provident total slowly moved back. Once waninyeyeከቩ had seen their South mentioned in the sun's reign. It took about 6 months before they departed, heading back to Arizona. However, many stayed behind because they came to love the area. Psalms covered the Romans cut locked up and Salbemau had fallen asleep. Kush got up, tiptoed toward her, covered her with the shawl until it gave her sofa, and left quickly.